Good afternoon. It's time for Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today, we'll join Volusia Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley for some insight into the latest beach ramp improvements. Then we'll have the opportunity to learn how to get your plate in shape for National Nutrition Month with health reporter Stephanie Strong. And finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio for a chat with his guest, Eric Maday of the Volusia County Health Department. Those segments, news, and more coming up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. One of the biggest public safety enhancements in the county's history is taking shape and is scheduled to be online in about a year. The Volusia County Council, Sheriff Ben Johnson, and other emergency management officials recently conducted a ceremonial groundbreaking for a state-of-the-art emergency operations and Sheriff's Communications Center.
This building will be complete in 2013, and it'll be a big difference from what we used to have in our old EOC, where we did not have the accommodations that this one will have.
The 43,000 square foot, $21 million facility will serve as the county's consolidated public safety dispatch center and provide a centralized location for disaster response officials to make strategic decisions to protect the public during emergencies such as hurricanes, wildfires, and mass casualty incidents. The building is designed to resist 180-mile-per-hour winds and tornadoes.
For emergency management in terms of hurricanes, tornadoes, you have to have the right facility, tracks the weather, tracks the resources we have, make sure that the right notifications get out. This will be the hub, the center, and you have to make it so it's bulletproof. Doesn't help you if the emergency management center can't handle a hurricane or tornado. What good is it? This has to be the place that absolutely functions during emergencies. This state-of-the-art facility provides all that.
The 6,500 square foot 911 dispatch center will have 60 consoles for law enforcement, fire, and emergency medical services dispatchers. The 4,000 square foot emergency operations center can hold 90 support personnel during disasters.
The people who work in the comm centers are the first ones who have contact with the citizens who are in need. It's a very stressful job, even on a very stressful night, even for people who are working on the road or for fire individuals. You have a few minutes to take and decompress between calls, where dispatchers on a very, very busy day don't have that luxury. And this building that we're coming into now is going to be so great for the citizens of Volusia County for decades to come, for the public safety and the working environment for the individuals who are out there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long. It's so important that we have this facility that's safe, it's secure, and it's comfortable so they can do their job.
The facility also is being built with environmentally green features. The county will apply for leadership in energy and environmental design, or LEED certification, from the U.S. Green Building Council to certify the building is environmentally responsible and a healthy place to work. For more information, log on to volusia.org. Nearly 300 enthusiastic supporters turned out last week for the grand opening of the first segment of the East Central Regional Rail Trail in Deltona. The 5.7-mile trail segment is the result of imagination, ingenuity, and years of planning on the part of Volusia County officials. Construction on the next phase, which will include a pedestrian bridge over State Road 415, is expected to begin this summer. When complete, the rail trail will cover 50 miles, stretching from Enterprise to Edgewater, with a 10-mile leg through Brevard County to Titusville. Pat Northey, District 5 representative to the Volusia County Council, is a longtime proponent of the trails.
This is an exciting day, not just for Volusia, Southwest Volusia residents, but all of Volusia, because it is the first leg of a rail trail that will link Enterprise to Edgewater in Volusia County, and then it'll head south to Brevard County. It's a great project. It's going to be over 50 miles of linear pathway. It's a linear park that people who get out, they can ride their bike, they can walk their dog, they can push a stroller, they can just walk the trail, and it's going to be a glorious day for these people to begin to use this.
Volusia County's Rail Trail is part of a bigger picture of trails that cross the nation, according to the Rails to Trails Conservancy in Washington, D.C.
Projects like this happen when you have partnerships, and we've got a great one on this project, beginning with Brevard County, Commissioner Truman Scarborough, who is now retired, and myself, working together with the Regional Planning Council. We took the project to the state, and the state purchased the alignment, the actual rail bed itself, with the understanding that the county of Brevard and the county of Volusia would build and maintain the alignment and maintain the park. It's a linear park, and so that's what we did. This is the first 6 miles of that partnership, and it was great to have that, and that's what makes it happen. That's how you get things done, when you have partnerships with other organizations and agencies.
Jim Wood, chief of Florida's Office of Greenways and Trails, made the trek from Tallahassee to join in the celebration.
The East Central Regional Rail Trail is huge for Florida. It's the longest rail trail acquisition in the state's history. And as it's completed over the next several years heading towards the coast, it will help to complete not only this project, but portions of the Florida East Coast Greenway and the St. Johns River to Sea Loop and trail system that includes a lot of the central Florida counties, all the way up to St. Johns and on over to Osceola County.
For more information about Volusia County's trail system, you can visit volusia.org/trails. Construction crews have poured the concrete slab and have nearly completed the layout of steel for Brown & Brown's future hangar at Daytona Beach International Airport.
A major company in the area that's making a major investment here at the airport, and we're thrilled about that. We'd like to see more of that happen here at the airport. As you know, we don't receive any tax dollars to operate the airport, and so these kinds of deals are very, very important to maintain the airport as a basically self-sufficient facility.
The 28,000 square feet hangar and office facility will be the largest ever built at the Volusia County run airport and will be able to accommodate 5 corporate jets. For more information, you can log on to flydaytonafirst.com.
I'm Carl Persis with the Volusia County Council, asking you to help us make our roads safer for motorcyclists. You can save a life by looking twice and following these safety tips. Double check traffic at intersections before you pull out. Check your blind spots before changing lanes. Stay focused on your driving. Leave at least a 4-second distance between your vehicle and a motorcycle in front of you. Remember that failing to yield right-of-way can result in the death of a motorcyclist.
Reporter Joanne Magley takes us to the beach for a look at Volusia County's most recent beach ramp improvements in this week's Volusia Here and Now report.
Cheers and a parade of historic beach racing cars followed the ribbon cutting for the beautification project of the north and south turn beach ramps.
From the inlet all the way up to the North Turn restaurant, we are going to change our theme on that part of the beach to more of the white and black racing flags. So you'll see that more along here so that we show that this really is a big part of the history.
The project was a partnership between Volusia County and the town of Ponce Inlet, and as Jim Deneen, manager of Volusia County, explains, beautifying the ramps wasn't the only goal of this project.
What this program today was all about was making people reconnect to the idea that this stretch of beach is as famous, if not more famous, than any of the racetracks you've ever heard of, because this is where it all started.
The project includes 2 new monuments commemorating beach history, as well as 2 new beach ramp gates, which also incorporate the racing theme. Cars raced on the beach from 1936 until 1958, when they were relocated to the new Super Speedway, today known as Daytona International Speedway. Racer Ray Scheike remembers the thrill of racing on the hard-packed sand.
But my favorite turn was the north turn here, because the entry was so slick. When you came up the beach, you could break the car loose when you were running full throttle and just kind of break the back end of it loose, and it scrubbed speed off as you came into the corner. But every lap the track, this corner changed, and it would become very soft to the inside, so you had to constantly keep seeking a hard groove. And if you didn't catch that hard groove and you caught it a rut, it'd tip you over real quick.
Glenn Wood was one of the first drivers to race on the beach.
And my first race on the beach here was in 1953. And there was 136 cars started. And I think I finished 7th out of that.
When I came down here in 1953, it was like going to Indianapolis. It was the premium crop of stock car racing.
1, 2, 3.
Shikey and Wood, along with a number of other beach racing legends, were the guests of honor at the event, which included ribbon cuttings at both the south and north turns. Another famous NASCAR driver made a special appearance at the north turn ceremony.
Because we have a special guest with us who now is going to raise the flag and kick this off. Please welcome Richard Petty.
And raised the checkered flag marking the new historic beach racing monument. Rhonda and Walt Glasnick own Racing's North Turn restaurant, which sits on the location where the county's racing history began.
And we're really privileged because every day someone comes in with a picture, a photograph of either their father or their grandfather, and you know, of course we put it on the wall, and we've been given so many things. As a matter of fact, today I was given a rule book from 1959 and 3 entry forms from 56, 57, 58. How, you know, that it can't get any better than that.
And like Racing's North Turn, now the County of Volusia and the town of Ponce Inlet have taken a major leap in the preservation of historic beach racing in Volusia County. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
For more information, you can log on to volusia.org/beaches. You know, March is National Nutrition Month, and this year's theme is Get Your Plate in Shape. Consumers are encouraged to remember to include a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and dairy on their plates every day. In this segment of Community Health Matters, Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong introduces you to the Health Department nutritionist Tonya Marchena for some healthy eating tips for your next meal.
The next time you're at the grocery store, remember to shop right so you and your family can eat right with color. That means including a colorful variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and dairy on your plate every day.
It's very important to eat healthy nutrition. That means eating 3 meals a day, especially breakfast. It also means varying one's diet with lots of color, red fruits and vegetables, and green vegetables, white starches, brown grains. It's really important to vary one's diet in order to make sure that one not only eats protein and a little bit of fat and carbohydrates, but also the appropriate minerals and vitamins.
Hi, my name is Tonya Marchena, and I'm a registered dietitian with the Volusia County Health Department. Let's start by selecting a different food item from each group in order to make a heart-healthy, colorful, and nutritious meal. Quench your thirst with water first. Select a low-fat dairy product, skim milk, or 1% milk. From the lean meat group, select a healthy product such as fish. You can even use chicken or turkey, the white meat. From the vegetable group, this is where you can have the most fun and have the most color. Every time you add a fruit or a vegetable to a meal, that's where you get the color. Let's have a little bit of corn. Spice it up with some tomato. And a good serving of broccoli. Let's not forget dessert. You can have any type of fruit, but today we're having red grapes.
Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and blue.
For Volusia Magazine and on behalf of the Volusia County Health Department, your guide to better health, I'm Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com.
I'm Joshua Wagner with the Volusia County Council. If you're going to one of our beautiful beaches, have a great day and come back often. If you drive on the beach, please observe the 10-mile-per-hour speed limit and be very careful of pedestrians, especially children. If you're visiting with children, watch them constantly and take small children by the hand when crossing traffic lanes. You might want to use one of our traffic-free zones. For more beach information, please visit volusia.org.
We all know that lifeguards play a significant role in keeping us safe when we go to the beach, but ensuring your safety goes much more beyond them. Making sure the water quality at the beach is safe for beach bathers is up to the Volusia County Health Department. So let's join Community Information Director Dave Byron as he sits down for a chat with Eric Maday of the Volusia County Health Department to learn more about this important task.
Thank you, Amber, and hello, everyone. Volusia's beautiful ocean beaches are our most significant natural attraction. Millions of people from around the world flock here to romp in the surf. It's the role of the Volusia County Health Department to ensure the water quality is safe for public bathing, and they do that by conducting routine water tests. With us in the studio today with the details is Eric Maday of the Volusia County Health Department. Eric, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Dave. It's nice to be here.
Hey, it's nice to have you, Eric. Obviously, testing the ocean water quality is something that the health department is doing has been doing for a long period of time. Let's talk about first the reason why you would do these tests. You're out there on a regular basis, kind of in the water, so to speak, collecting samples of our ocean beach water quality. Why are you doing that?
We're testing for bacteria in the water that would indicate the presence of organisms in the water that could make people sick, and if they rise to a certain level, we want to put an advisory out and let people know about that.
I guess it's just like a big public swimming hole, huh? I mean, I know you're always out there looking at public swimming facilities, and I guess in this case it's somewhat similar. It just happens to be a beach.
Essentially, yes, like a swimming pool, but without the filtration and the chlorination and treatment.
And I know that the health department has been doing this water quality testing in our ocean beaches for a long period of time. If I'm not mistaken, Volusia County was the first or one of the first to start doing these tests.
Yeah, we started as part of a pilot program with the state in '98, and then the legislature passed a statute in 2000 making the program statewide.
And I would imagine that given the fact that you've been doing these tests, as you say, since the late 1990s, with all of that data week over week, month over month, you must have a pretty good historical record of generally the water quality of our ocean beaches.
Yeah, we see a lot of trends, and it tends to trend seasonally around in Volusia.
Eric, all right, so let's get down to the to the nub here. You've been doing these tests, week after week, year after year. In general, can the public feel pretty good about the water quality in Volusia County's beaches?
Oh yes, Volusia County's beaches are very free of bacteria, are very clean compared to a lot of beaches. Some beaches have problems with water runoff. We don't have that issue here with our beaches, the way the beach was designed and the drainage system. Some beaches have, and other places have problems with sewage spills and overflows, and again, we don't have that problem in Volusia County.
And if you had to stand back and take a look at the water quality in general around the coastline of the state of Florida, my understanding is that's probably generally true for most of the state of Florida, is it not?
Yeah. Florida has very good results as compared to some other places around the country, with very few exceptions.
And tell us how you actually conduct these tests. I guess some poor soul has to go to the beach at least once every other week, huh?
Yes, I'm one of those. We have 3 people that do that, and every other week we collect samples at 13 sites. We take those water samples to our environmental health laboratory to have them analyzed.
And generally, Eric, as you say, the water is very, very high quality in Volusia's ocean beaches. But if there is an anomaly, this is the time of the year when we've seen in past years where you can get a test that kind of spikes a little bit. My understanding is that so far has not been the case this year.
No, this year we haven't had any advisories, and our results have been pretty good. But yeah, traditionally in Volusia we see some specific areas of the beach that do get spikes, usually seasonally in the late part of the winter, starting maybe now through March. And we believe that's mostly caused due to migratory birds.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, we love our feathered friends, and like a lot of our winter visitors from the north, they come down here and visit in Florida in the winter as well. And so you can get a lot of birds, and basically it's bird droppings that can cause the problem.
Yeah, that's mostly what we're picking up. There's other places around the country when they're testing, they're picking up human waste, but mostly what we're picking up is bird waste in our tests. And we have some very specific spots on the beach where the gull population really explodes during the winter.
So what happens if in fact you get a test that is above the threshold? I mean, does that mean that the ocean beaches aren't safe to swim in? What's the implication there?
Well, it means that the likelihood that you could get sick from swimming in the water goes up. And the types of things that you might expect, the chance of going up would be rashes, diarrhea, vomiting, gastrointestinal type illness.
So I guess if there were those folks out there that maybe have a compromised immune system, or maybe the elderly or whatever, I would presume that they would be the ones that would perhaps be a little bit more vulnerable during this time of advisory.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's always the case, that if anyone that's got an immunocompromised type condition, chemotherapy, HIV, those types of people are going to get sick first or easiest.
So when you have these advisories, and again, we want to stress you have not had any of them this year, and maybe not, but when you do, what happens at that point? Do you have to post a warning, or how does that work?
Yeah, if we do have an advisory, then we will put signs out at the beach approaches that are affected, and we also issue a press release to the local newspapers and television news stations.
I would assume that you know, with the amount of wave action that we have in Volusia County, particularly those days when the waves are very active, I mean, that must be a good thing in terms of dissipating any particular problem that may occur.
Yeah, it depends. The current will help clear the advisories quicker, especially if there's a strong north or south current moving the water through quickly. Then that helps keep the water clean.
So let's say you get a test that comes back over the level. You know, how frequently would you come back? I guess you're doing these tests right now about every other week, right?
Yeah, we right now we're doing them every other week. But if there were to be a bad test, a test that comes in what we call a poor range, we would do a resample as soon as possible. We'd go out, resample, and then we would resample until it came back in what's called good or moderate range, and we were able to lift the advisory then.
And typically, again, just based on prior years, if there were to be an advisory posted, generally it goes away in a very short period of time, does it not?
That's generally been the case.
And all this this testing is part of the overall health department's responsibility for ensuring that drinking water, bathing water, swimming water is safe for the public. That's an important environmental role for the health department.
Yeah, sure. We want to try and prevent illness as best we can, and let people know what the risks are if there's an elevated risk of swimming. And this is a program, like I said, that the state legislature passed in 2000 and felt was important, and tasked the health department with carrying out.
Perhaps if there are groups out there that would like to take a look at your data, maybe even get a civic group presentation, or perhaps access what information you have available, how do people get more information, Eric?
Visit the state's website at floridashealth.com, and there you'll find A to Z topics with everything the health department does, and beach water quality, and you can see all the tests for all the different sites that we test for, all the different dates, and some contact information there too.
Well, Eric, I want to thank you very much for sharing the information with us today. Again, this is an important role for the health department. Of course, with millions of people in Volusia County's ocean beaches, particularly in the summertime, I think it's a good thing to make sure that we know that the ocean water quality is pretty darn good in Volusia County. So again, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Our guest today, Eric Maday of the Volusia County Health Department. And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the Volusia Magazine icon. And we hope you don't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.